Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to talk to you about the relationship between coffee consumption and blood sugar. What are the effects of coffee consumption for people living with diabetes and how to drink coffee the right way? You're going to love this video. Stay until the end, you won't want to miss it. If you love videos about nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. So go ahead and subscribe and remember to turn on the notification bell to get updates. I post new videos every day and you're going to love them. So let's start talking more about the relationship between coffee and plasma glucose, or blood sugar. If you like coffee, let me know down below how you usually drink your coffee every day. Do you drink it with sugar, with sweetener, with milk, or do you drink it black? Do you sweeten it with something different? Tell me, how do you take your coffee on a daily basis? I would love to know how you drink your coffee, especially so I can get more ideas on how to help you with this. If you enjoy these videos where I talk more about a specific food and its role in blood sugar and diabetes, go ahead and leave a like, and I'll make more videos like this. And if you have any suggestions for other foods you'd like to know about in relation to blood sugar, just write them for me down here in the comments. Many people love to drink coffee for the energy it gives, the sense of well-being, and the alertness it brings us, especially in the morning or sometimes after lunch in the afternoon when people are feeling a bit more tired. Coffee also has many beneficial effects on our health. It contains many substances that are good for us, such as chlorogenic acid and lots of antioxidants. So, many people focus a lot on caffeine, but coffee actually contains numerous substances, even though we talk a lot about caffeine. And many of these substances play a very interesting role in helping to regulate blood sugar levels for those who don't have diabetes yet. So, some studies have already found that people who don't have diabetes, don't have any associated metabolic issues, and don't have any pre-existing conditions, those who regularly consume more coffee have a lower chance of developing type 2 diabetes compared to people who don't drink coffee. In fact, some studies have found that drinking coffee daily can help reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases, help lower the risk of premature death due to heart issues, and may help prevent neurological problems such as Alzheimer's itself. And we also know that coffee makes us feel more energetic and motivated, which leads people to exercise more and be more physically active. This helps with metabolism, also aids in weight control, and consequently helps prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes. In addition, coffee naturally contains polyphenols, antioxidants, magnesium, chromium. So it also contains micronutrients that are related to your own insulin secretion and insulin sensitivity. So, as a general rule, if you are someone who doesn't have any associated health issues or any contraindications for coffee consumption, because we know there are people like that, we always have to take into account what our doctor or personal nutritionist has recommended for us. Coffee can be a very healthy beverage. In fact, it can even help you, along with a balanced diet, a healthy lifestyle, and regular physical activity, to prevent type 2 diabetes. But we do need to be a bit careful if the person already has type 2 diabetes and if that person consumes a lot of coffee, because some studies have found that for people who have already been diagnosed with diabetes and are already undergoing treatment to control it, consuming a large amount of coffee daily can lead to insulin resistance due to associated metabolic factors. So, it's not that people with diabetes can't drink coffee, but excessive caffeine can harm your insulin and hinder your control. In some cases, it might be a good idea for you to reduce your coffee intake as much as possible, maybe have just 1 cup a day, and in other cases, it might be better for you to choose decaffeinated coffee because it will have the same flavor you enjoy, along with those other benefits like magnesium, chromium, antioxidants that I mentioned, chlorogenic acid. Coffee is much more than just caffeine, so it will have these associated benefits without the negative effects of caffeine. In any case, always remember that you can evaluate this individually with your doctor or your nutritionist who knows you better personally. Another thing for you to pay attention to in your daily life is how you consume your coffee. I even asked you this before. What is your basic daily coffee routine like? Because if you drink black coffee, filtered, with nothing added, that's great, wonderful. But if you add sugar, brown sugar, honey, or if you add syrup, there are people who go to those fancy coffee shops and add walnut syrup, cherry syrup. It ends up looking like a milkshake. So be careful, because nowadays there are a lot of flavored coffees that we think don't have sugar, but actually do. So if you're really looking for the benefits of coffee, the best thing is to have black coffee, filtered, with no sugar, no sweetener, nothing added. As a last resort, you can use stevia to sweeten it, or even xylitol if you want, because these are more natural sweeteners. Remember that I have a video here on the channel talking about the different types of sugar and sweeteners. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Or you can choose not to sweeten your coffee using a strategy that I actually have a video about here. I'll leave it down below for you, and I'll put it in the card up here as well. And I'll leave it down below in the description so you can learn about ways to sweeten your coffee naturally without needing to use any sweetener at all. You're going to love them, and I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Also, be careful with the size of your coffee cups because nowadays it's very common for people to buy those triple, quadruple, quintuple coffees. I'm joking, but it's almost like you're having 4 or 5 times the amount of coffee you would traditionally drink at home, right? So be careful because we know that too much caffeine can also be bad for many people. Whether you have diabetes or not, even if you don't have diabetes and are just thinking about coffee for your health, remember that too much caffeine can cause heart palpitations, make you very jittery, worsen your sleep at night, and even increase anxiety for some people who are more prone to it. It's what I always say, coffee is super healthy. Coffee can be added to your routine as long as you use the right amount, as long as you use it properly without the excess sugar I mentioned or added ingredients, and always with common sense. Just because a food can be good for you doesn't mean you should overdo it. Never substitute coffee for water. Remember, in fact, that coffee can dehydrate you if you drink too much of it, and that the most important thing is to drink plenty of water throughout the day so your body functions well. I'm giving this tip because many people with diabetes, especially when it's not well controlled, end up urinating more, which can increase the risk of dehydration. And if you are someone living with diabetes, urinate a lot, are a bit dehydrated, and start drinking more coffee than you should, the tendency is that you'll urinate even more and become even more dehydrated. So pay attention to this. For those living with diabetes, it's important to drink plenty of water throughout the day. And remember that I have a video here on the channel, by the way, talking about different ways to add water to your daily routine, ways to help you remember to drink water. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. I've mentioned this before, but I think it's always good to emphasize that coffee can have this protective effect against type 2 diabetes for some people, but it's not going to work miracles. It's no use drinking your coffee and then eating a lot of chocolate, candies, cookies, pasta, bread, excessive saturated fat, those excesses that people sometimes indulge in as part of their daily routine, and thinking that coffee is going to protect you. It's not how it works. So remember that I have a video here, in fact, talking about pre-diabetes. I also have a playlist covering everything about diabetes with lots of great tips on how to control your blood sugar. These tips are useful whether you have diabetes or if you don't have diabetes and just want to keep your blood sugar more controlled. So it's not something specific that only people with diabetes can follow. These tips are healthy for everyone. I'll leave them for you down below in the description. Remember that I also have lots of healthy recipes here, so you can truly achieve a more balanced life. And let coffee be just one more supporting factor in improving your health, helping you have a lower chance of developing type 2 diabetes. But you also need to help yourself by eating well, being active, not being sedentary, and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Tell me down below. I've already asked you 1,000 times, how do you take your coffee? I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video because that really helps me out. If you know someone who would enjoy this topic or benefit from it, share this video because you help me help more people. Let's expand this chain of good. That's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.